it's anybody wants to be welcome once they come back home, and so it's always great to be able to come back and be around the people who got me to where I'm at. OU played a huge role clearly in me having the success I've had, and I'm just a big advocate for whatever I'm involved in. So if it's OU or Southeast High School where I went, or the Bucks who I play for now, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be big into it. So I went to Oklahoma, so I tried to be involved as much as I could in every sport. I tried to let everybody know that I wasn't just a player or student here, that I really loved my school. So.
Talk about the rehab, and Tampa Bay going from 3 wins to 10, youngest team in the league. The rehab and the future looks pretty bright for that organization.
Yeah, it does. Nobody expected us to get 10 wins except us. We knew what type of talent we had in the locker room and the type of coaching staff we had, and we believed in ourselves, and we believed in the vision that our general manager, head coach had, and it was great to see things develop, turn into what it turned into, and things started to change for me later in the season. But then I suffered the injury, which caused me to miss the last 4 games. But things are going well. You guys know me. I'm a workhorse, nonstop working. I don't know how to take a break. So I got released, medically released, January 24th. I flew out January 25th to start training in San Diego. So I wasted no time.
Is that where you're going from the rehab?
I'm in San Diego at Fitness Quest 10, and I'm training with a trainer named Todd Durkin. He's done. Quentin Carter actually trained there for the combine, so he's been down there, and he did Drew Brees rehab and trained him, and 2 of my teammates, Kellen Winslow and Josh Freeman, he's trained them, and this past year's Super Bowl MVP, he's trained him. He's trained LT. So, one thing they're saying down there is the past 2 Super Bowl MVPs, Todd Durkin trained them, so I guess it's not a bad place to be.
How do you spell his last name?
Durkin.
So you have a young quarterback that seems to be on the rise too. How much does that? I know you're on the other side of the ball. But
it's great, man. The leader of our team is 22 years old. He may be 23 now. I think he's older than me. But the leader of our entire team is 23 years old, and to play the way he did at that young age, I mean, you can't do anything but be excited about that, because he can't get worse. He can only get better, and the future's promising for him and us in general, just because of the leader he is.
You used to chase him a little bit now.
I did, man. We always joke about I did sack him, but there was one point where I think he actually broke all 11 defenders' tackles, and I was the last line of defense, and he broke through mine too, and they was like, well, shoot. If G couldn't get him down, then I don't know what we're going to do.
Has that hit you that there are so many guys that you played against or with in the Big 12 that are making a huge impact?
They are, man. I mean, this guy that y'all call my arch nemesis or whatever, Ndamukong Suh, he's from the Big 12, and he was the Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then, of course, King Sam was Offensive Rookie of the Year, and, both Big 12 players, and played against one and played with the other, and it's great to see how the Big 12 is doing, because everybody talks about how great the SEC is, but, this past year's Rookies of the Year came from the Big 12, so it's good to see.
Talk to Sam much?
I talk to Sam when I get a chance. He's called King Sam for a reason. Axe body spray has cut his hair now, so he is... Sam's looking good, and, I talk to Sam whenever I get a chance. I talked to him yesterday, as a matter of fact.
That big contract, what's the one thing you splurged on?
I'm not a big splurger. I'm still, I can't say the word cheap anymore. I've been advised to use the word frugal, but, yeah, I'm very cheap. I'm very tight with my money. I take care of the people who take care of me. That's my motto, and, so my family and people who are close to me, I take care of them. I give them whatever they want, but other than that, I don't really splurge much. I actually love buying movies. I have a 400 disc Blu-ray changer, and I have to buy another one because I've already filled it. So, yeah.
What was your dad's role this year? He was always such a big part of your college experience.
The same guy that you guys seen in college, who was at the hotel before we were, and when we got in there, he was at the door. It hasn't changed. And what's great about it is he pays for all his own tickets. I get him the game tickets. He finds a way to the game. And you can't ask for anything better than that, because when a guy gets put in a position like mine, you know, you hear these stories about how it changes his family and they start asking for all these things and all that. He hasn't done that. I asked him, did he want to retire? And he said, yeah, whenever I get ready. You know, he gets up every day at 5:30 and goes to work. And he doesn't have to. So, I mean, that's a blessing.
Did you offer to buy him a new car and he wouldn't take it? Or?
Yeah, one time, you know, funny story is I asked him to go look for a car, and he said, "No, I ain't gonna do that," you know, whatever. So I get a call. I go, because I bought me a BMW. So I go up there and, yeah, your father was up here. I said, huh? He was, no, I think I got the wrong guy. So I called my pops. So I was like, hey, Dad, these BMW people saying you was up there. Well, you said go look for a car. I said, didn't you tell me you wasn't going? So, you know, but other than that, he doesn't want anything. He hasn't asked for anything. I try and get him stuff. He still thinks that we broke. So, you know, he's still trying to wake up to the fact that we're not.
Has the NFL been what you expected it to be?
Yeah. The experience is great. As far as the fan base and the atmosphere, it, you know, doesn't compare to college. But as far as playing on the field, there's no better feeling to be at a professional level, competing against other guys at a professional level. Everybody's motivated for different reasons. My motivation is I just love to play the game I play. You know, I don't want to disappoint my family or anybody around me, my teammates. But overall, I just love the game. And, you know, that's my motivation. But there's a lot of different motivations people use to play in the NFL. And it's great to see the competition on Sundays.
Was it pleasing for you to from afar to watch this program get back on track last year after all the injuries?
It was.
Did so much against, you know, you guys know now.
It was, man. It kind of blew me away because, you know, we had 4 guys go in the first round and we went 7-5, something like that. And then you got a bunch of freshmen who you don't know what they're going to turn into, and they win the Big 12 and win a BCS Bowl, something that we couldn't do. It's kind of, you know, threw me off a little bit, but that goes to show what type of coaching staff Coach Stoops is putting together here and what type of program he's running.
What's your take on the potential for a lockout?
I don't have a take. I'm just I'm working out and trying to be at my best. So when they do say, Gerald, it's time to go back to work, I'm ready.
Are you encouraged by they seem to be at least meeting an awful lot, or do you just not even pay attention?
I don't pay no attention. I pay attention to the workouts that I have to get up and go to, and you know, the rehab and the Pilates and all that stuff. I'm waiting for a phone call when they say, okay, we figured it out. Then that's when I show up.
Joe, how much do you talk to Coach Ship, and what did he mean to your development in your career?
You know, I don't get to talk to Coach Ship much. You know, the whole recruiting phase is in, and well, it's over now. He's taking his break, but you know, I talked to him during the season, and I talked to him after I got injured, and he played a huge role in me getting to where I'm at. Coach Ship doesn't just develop football players; he develops men. I had a father for that, but Coach Ship took it up on himself to do that. He made a promise to my mother that he would do that, and he stuck to it. And one thing I can say is he is a man of his word, and he stayed on me, never let me get lax, and I didn't like him. He knows that. We talked about it. He would tell me to my face, I know you don't like me. And I say, yeah, you're right, I don't. But, I mean, in the long run, it helped, and now we actually are pretty close. And, you know, I tell him I appreciate all he did for me.
At what point did you start liking him? Did you like him when you were still here?
After I got drafted. Yeah, after I left. And we talked about that. He knows that. He just was, he does it, he's like the way I am when it comes to football. I don't know how to take a break, and neither does he. he during the summertime, when football season's not in, you think he's the nicest person ever. He invites you over, you get to have dinner at his house, and let us play all his video games. He's like, "Dang, Coach Ship is better than I thought." 2 weeks before that season about to start, he turns into the most evil person ever. But it's just, that's his job. That's what he does, and he has a passion for football and coaching, just the way I have a passion for playing. So,
How do you feel about guys like Jamarcus McFarland and Stacey McGee calling you the role model they follow? And that kind of
it's an honor to have that, but because I remember when I was here, Tommy was my guy. I looked up to Tommy, and he's who I would go watch film on and base my game after. So it's great that I could do that for somebody else. But those guys are going to be great players by the time that when that time is up here, there'll be two more great players. And Casey Walker, even with his injury, he's going to be a good player, and they're going to have a pretty good defensive line going into next year.
Do you have any goals statistically, or All-Pro, or Pro Bowls, or anything like that?
You want to make all that stuff. I keep that, in the back of my mind when I'm training. What I really do is when I'm training, I know what I didn't do last year and what I wanted to do, and I know ultimately what my goals are. So I can kind of visualize them while I'm training. When I think I've done enough, did you really do enough? Because, they had an all-rookie team. My name wasn't on it. They had a Pro Bowl, all-pro team. My name wasn't on it. They had Rookie of the Year list. My name wasn't on it. And I see those things, and I know that could have been me and that it can be me. So, that's what keeps me motivated.
Gerald, you talked about Coach Ship and how tough he is on young guys, and sometimes they don't understand. Because of things like that, how important is it to have veteran leadership in a college program like you were when you were here?
It's huge, man, because if you don't, then the young guys, who think they got it made can get out of control, and it can mess up the program. So you got to have some veteran leadership. That's as far as coaches and players. And, they had a lot of veteran leaders who actually came in with me as far as like Adrian and Jeremy and DeMarco and Quentin, Moses, guys like that, who I came in with, who was still here last year. And I think that's really what played a huge role in how good they were last year.
You have to kind of drag those young guys along and understand what it's all about. Is that kind of ultimately what it is?
Yeah. You kind of got to lead by example. You could be I just was, you guys know I'm very vocal, say what I want, and that's just how it is. But, some guys, not everybody's like that. Like Jeremy, he just go perform, and people would look up to Jeremy just because he performed. Jeremy wasn't a talker, but me and Adrian were, and but we would go perform after we did a lot of talking. We would never say what we were going to do, but we would keep our team motivated. Sam's not a talker, but he was Rookie of the Year. That guys get young guys motivated however they can, and all those different pieces to the puzzle, you put them together and you get something great.
So what's it like being a young
guy again? It actually didn't bother me because I was ready for it. The reason I left early, one, I did know I was going to get my degree, and two, college just started to get too easy for me. I just needed a new challenge. It just was, I kind of started to know what to expect. I was going into a game. I know I'm going to get double team or sometimes triple team. I just know it's coming. And, I was ready for a new challenge. I was ready to be a young guy again. And so it doesn't really bother me.
How do you like Campus St. Pete?
It's cool. It's a nice area. I got a nice place I stay in on the water, so it's a little different than Norman. It's a little different than Oklahoma, period. It doesn't really get cold there. Sometimes it does. It rains a lot, but it rains for a few minutes, then it's done. The weather's great. People are not as nice as Oklahoma, but it's all right. I'm going to bring some niceness to Tampa.
What do you miss about college, just in general, last year? I take it there were times when you thought it might be kind of neat to be on campus, go to another game, or just hang out with the guys.
Game day in general. When I would roll over on game days, I was always so excited, not because I had a game, even though I do love the sport I play, Well, because of the atmosphere, man. The fans here are the best in the country, and just you guys know, game day in Norman, Oklahoma is just like on another level. I mean, you see people setting up tents 2 days before. You see them lined up down the street on Lindsay, and that's great to see, man. Just the atmosphere in general. The NFL atmosphere is okay, but it's nothing like college.